Hey there, people. So today I'm giving you a guide to all the mounts you can get in Terraria and how to get them. I'm going to do this in kind of a list format, roughly first to best. And this is going to cover all platforms, so PC, console, and mobile, all the versions, whether it's with the 1.3 update or before that with a 1.2.4 equivalent. So iOS, PS4, PS3, Xbox One and 360, and Android. So I'm going to explain as I go which ones require the PC 1.3 equivalent update, which the PS4 mostly also has as well, and which are available prior to that. It is worth noting that mounts are not available on the 3DS. So, sorry guys, but for all the rest of you, there are mounts available. Each mount has a corresponding item that is used to summon it, and there is a dedicated mount slot to equip the item that summons the mount. So when you have that item equipped, you can press a shortcut key on PC, that's R, to ride your mount. So first of all, there are 4 mounts available in pre-hard mode. The first that you are likely to get is the Slime mount, which is with the Slimy saddle that you'll get from King Slime. It has a 1 in 4 or 25% chance to drop from King Slime. And if you have that in your inventory, you can just right click it. It'll auto assign it to the mount slot, second from the bottom over here. And I'm going to show you each of these too. So R to ride, and you can see the Slime mount jumps very fast, jumps high and fast. And it does move faster than you would normally by default move, not a lot faster. It floats in water, and you can actually stomp on enemies with this, like, you know, kind of Mario style, except on mobile. That does not work on mobile for whatever reason, but on other platforms you can actually stomp Mario style on enemies and damage them. And that's basically it. That's your Slime mount. The second one you're likely to get is the Turtle mount. So this is a hardy saddle is the item. It's a 1 in 10 or 10% chance of being found in a golden crate when you're fishing. So yeah, you equip your hardy saddle that you get from a golden crate from fishing. I'm not going to go too much into that. I do have a fishing guide if you want to know more about that. The Turtle mount is very slow on land, as you can see here. But if I just fly over here where I've got a little pool of water, it's very fast in water, which can be useful early game. You can see here, it can effectively jump, it can swim, and it moves very fast when you're in the water. So that can be very useful. Again, you get that from a golden crate when you're fishing. And speaking of fishing, the next one I'm going to show you is the Bunny mount. The fuzzy carrot is the item you'll need to summon the Bunny mount. You will get that from the angler. It's actually guaranteed on the 5th angler quest. So you go to your angler and he gives you quests and you complete those quests. The 5th time that you do one of those, you should get your fuzzy carrot. And Bunny mount, besides being very cute, it accelerates as you start running. So it's pretty fast for early in the game, and it also jumps high. And it also cancels fall damage, which is important early in the game as well. If you're falling from a height, you won't die if you're riding the Bunny mount. So that's that one. And the 4th and last one that you're likely to get in pre-hard mode is the honeyed goggles, which you get from fighting the queen bee. It's a fairly low chance. It's 1 in 20 or a 5% chance to drop when you defeat the queen bee. But it's a very useful and powerful item for pre-hard mode because, again, while it's slow on land, it's the bee mount, it flies. And obviously, if I was just starting out, it would be very useful to find this floating island here. And it actually hovers. It automatically hovers. It's a limited flight time, but it's a fairly good flight time, actually. And while it's slow on land, it can fly for a decent amount of time, which can help you to discover floating islands and explore the sky areas and that kind of stuff, which otherwise you can't really do in pre-hard mode. So it also cancels fall damage, just like the Bunny mount does as well. And so then we move on to hard mode. So first I'll tell you about the 2 that you can get if your platform does not have the 1.3 equivalent update. One is the Pigron mount, which you get this Scaly Truffle, and again, that is actually from fishing as well. But it's a odd sort of requirement, unusual requirement. It makes it a little bit difficult to get. You'll need to be fishing in the cavern layer, so deep underground, of a snow biome that overlaps either Hallow, Corruption, or Crimson. Again, this is hard mode only. But basically on the edge of a snow biome and on the edge of either Hallow Corruption or Crimson, if you have a fishing hole near there, you can fish there and get the Scaly Truffle. Again, that's your Pigron mount. Also, actually runs a decent speed, but also flies, just like the B mount. So this might be useful before you manage to get wings in hard mode. Limited flight time as well, also cancels fall damage. So in other ways, it's similar to the B mount, but it runs faster basically, and of course looks pretty funny. So that's your Pigron. And the other one that you can get, and actually the first mount added to the game, and this is appropriate because I'm actually recording and publishing this on Christmas Day. The first mount that was ever added to the game is Rudolph. You get the reindeer bells. Now, this is actually really hard to get. It's incredibly hard to get. It's a less than 1% chance. It's like a 0.5% to 2/3% chance to drop from the Ice Queen in the Frost Moon, only with wave 15 onwards. So basically you need to be able to, the Frost Moon is an incredibly difficult event, but you need to be able to get to at least wave 15 and preferably past that, and keep killing Ice Queens, and then like you might kill 200 or so of them to get this. But if you manage to do that, your reward is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And similarly, limited flight time, runs fast actually, pretty fast, and accelerates, as you can see here. So as you're running, Rudolph will accelerate and he'll fly pretty good. And he gets that nice sparkly effect, so this is very appropriate for Christmas right now. You can fly just like Santa Claus, I guess. And yeah, pretty cool mount, and the very first one added to the game. Cancels fall damage as well, just like the other ones that we talked about that fly so far. And basically, those are all the ones that you can get if you don't have the 1.3 equivalent update. PS4 does, of course, have that now. And Xbox One is supposed to get it at any time, and mobile is supposed to get it a little bit later. So those are all the ones you're going to be able to get if you don't have that update yet. But if you do have that update, on PC particularly, this one's a little unclear because this is the Basilisk mount. So the item is called the Ancient Horn, and that was the Basilisk mount was only added in 1.3.3 on PC, which from what I've read is not actually the updates on the console and mobile platforms are not going to have the post 1.3.0 content right away, so you may not have the Basilisk mount if you're on one of those yet. Anyway, it's the Ancient Horn, and it's a 1 in 50 chance, or 2%, from basilisks in the underground desert. Those are the dinosaur-looking guys, as you can see. They look like this guy, but they're sort of a golden or a brown color. And so it's a 1 in 50 chance from basilisks in the underground desert. Runs pretty fast, and you can see as you're running you get this like sparking sort of effect, and actually what that does is that you can damage enemies by charging through them when you're going fast enough. So runs fast, jumps pretty high, and can charge and damage enemies. And those basilisks in the underground desert are very fast, so it's hard to catch them and kill them to begin with, but it's not that hard to get. It didn't take me too long. And another one that you can get early in hard mode with 1.3 onward is the Blessed Apple, which gives you the Unicorn mount. So you will get that. It's a 1 in 200 chance, or 0.5% chance, from any enemies in the Hallow area. So again, of course, that's hard mode. The chance is actually a little bit better if you're an expert. It's 1 in 150, or 0.2%. But anyway, you're going to be fighting in the Hallow anyway, so if you're spending enough time in the Hallow, you're going to get this, and that's your Unicorn mount. This is actually very useful because, as you can see, the Unicorn runs very fast, and it accelerates, and once it gets up to a certain speed, you can see there's a little poof of like fairy dust kind of thing, and that's when you know you're going full speed, so to speak, and you can charge through enemies and kill them or injure them depending on how strong the enemy is. So it accelerates and runs fast, damages enemies when it's at full speed, can also double jump, again, little poof of fairy dust there, and reduces fall damage by 80%, so it doesn't completely negate it, but it reduces it mostly. so you'll probably not die. Now, the only one that I'm not going to show in this guide is the cute Fishron mount, because it's expert only, and this is not an expert world. If you defeat Duke Fishron in expert mode, you will get a treasure bag, as with all bosses in expert mode. But Duke Fishron's treasure bag in expert will give you the Shrimpy Truffle, which gives you the cute Fishron mount, which is one of the only ones that has infinite flight and also does bonus damage and faster movement in liquids, but is very slow when touching land. So that's your little overview there. I'm not going to show you that because, well, I could have probably cheated it in, but it's not an expert world, so I don't have that one here. Now, one that I made a lot of use of, actually, is the Scutlix mount. So this Brain Scrambler, you'll get that during the Martian Madness event from the Scutlix Gunner, which is basically a little Martian guy who's riding a green Scutlix. Scutlix looks like this. This is a purple one, but they'll be riding a green one, and you kill them, and it's a 1 in 100 or 1% chance to get the Brain Scrambler, which gives you the Scutlix mount. As you can see, it runs pretty fast. Not as fast as a unicorn, but runs pretty fast. And the other thing about this that makes it very useful, actually, is that it automatically fires lasers from its eyes. So if I can find an enemy here somewhere, it's going to auto-fire lasers, and that's actually really useful. And it also runs fast, obviously, as well. It does not need to accelerate. It actually goes like basically full speed right away, which is also makes it pretty useful. I'm going to go down here and let's see if we can find a slime or something for it to fire lasers at. Come on, a little pew pew pew. Yeah, if we get over here into the Hallow, there we go. See, dead mummy, immediate dead mummy. So yeah, it fires lasers, and that's very useful. I found that very, very useful. I actually used this against the Moonlord. The Unicorn is often recommended against the Unicorn just because, or against the Moonlord just because of the speed it runs at. But the Scutlix mount doesn't require extra time to speed up. It's not quite as good for movement speed, but it runs fast enough. I found it was fast enough for me, for the Moonlord, and the auto-firing lasers gives you lots of extra damage. They auto-aim, auto-fire, so I really like that, and it reduces your fall damage to only 1. So no matter how high you fall from, you will only get 1 damage. So I found that one very useful personally. Another one that a lot of people really like is the UFO mount with the Cosmic Car Key. Also comes from the Martian Madness event. This is a 1 in 9 chance from the Martian Saucer in the Martian Madness event. So the thing about this, it's 1 in 9 or 11% for killing those Martian saucers. Of course, those are a lot tougher during that event and not quite as often, but you can get it easily enough. And yeah, the thing about this is it flies. And it actually, you can see here, when you're going horizontal, it maintains the same horizontal speed even while you're moving up and down. So its diagonal flight speed is technically higher than its horizontal or vertical, because it's basically combining both the horizontal and vertical flight speeds at the same time. So you can use that against the Moonlord and other things as well. Obviously, you can fire while riding this. And yeah, so infinite flight, it's fairly fast, but it does dismount in liquids, so you cannot use the UFO mount in liquids. Keep that in mind. So last but not least, a really interesting one, because it's different from all the rest, and it's also the last one that you can possibly get, is the drill mount. And I'm actually going to craft this because, well, I just wanted to show you. So it's 40 Luminite bars, 40 Chlorophyte bars, 40 Shroomite bars, 40 Spectre bars, 40 Hellstone bars, and 40 Meteorite bars. So that takes a bit of farming. You'll have to defeat the Moonlord a bunch of times, and of course now I have a Blood Moon coming. You'll have to defeat the Moonlord probably a few times to get enough Luminite for 40 Luminite bars. But once you do, you can go to your anvil and you can craft the Drill Containment unit. And when you equip that and you push your shortcut, you get this, and it's your drill mount. And as you can see, much like the UFO mount, it flies, and it flies actually a fairly similar speed. The only thing is you can't fire while riding this because it's not meant for that. What it actually does is it mines. It's a mining mount. And so as you can see, you just hold down your use key or your fire key, and you can mine like huge areas very quickly, and that's basically what the drill mount is for. You can't attack, so Blood Moon is not a good time to have your drill mount, but it's infinite flight, and it mines terrain just by holding the button. And there you go. That's the last mount. So hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you have any questions. Put them in the comments. Give it a like if you like the video, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.